What's going on, everyone? This is Jay from Premier Gaming Entertainment, and I'm here to bring to you my takeaways and analysis video for Week 4 versus Rutgers. If you can, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about the game. Were you surprised by the outcome? Are you happy the way that we played? You think that we could have played better? Is Rutgers a better team than we all anticipated? Did we play poorly? Was it about exactly how you thought the game was going to turn out? Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. Let me know, how you felt about the game itself. Please like and share the video as much as possible to help me out trying to get this channel up to a certain amount of subscribers. So if you can, definitely like the video. It really helps out the channel. So to get started, I want to give credit where credit is due. Rutgers played, a very, very inspired game. Definitely a lot better than I thought they would be. And Shiano really has these guys playing at a high level. The years and the days of a guaranteed win playing Rutgers are over with. It's not going to be any 56-0 or 78-0 game where they're struggling to get a first down. Those days are over with. They're recruiting much better now. At one point they were like top 10 in recruiting. Obviously that's changed over a course of the year with other teams moving ahead. But I'm sure that they're recruiting at a much higher level than they've been in a long, long time. So the team has vastly improved since even 2 years ago. So this is no fluke that the game ended up being, I'm not surprised. I thought we would have played better. I'm going to get into that in a second. But I'm not shocked that they did make a game of it. So the game itself was a tale of two halves. First half, really the beginning of the game, Michigan was dominating. I thought that it was going to be, the way that they were playing and moving the football and running the football effectively. I thought it was just going to be another game just like how it was for the previous 3 games. The path and the trajectory of the game was heading in that direction. Rutgers had no answer for the running game. They couldn't stop us. You saw Shiano going for it on 4th down early in the game just from the mere fact that it looked like they weren't going to be able to ever stop us. And I don't know what happened, but it's like we went away from things that were allowing us to be successful. Now, I will say that I do appreciate the fact that we did try to balance things out, and it did allow us to show that Cade can pass the football. We can move the football up and down the field on it's not just quick hitting home run plays. We can take long drives and score. We can see that can happen. We can see that we can throw the football. So all those things were on display for this game. But especially in the second half, for whatever reason, we went totally and completely against and away from what's been our bread and butter. I don't understand why. A lot of questionable play calling. It was just really, really strange to me. Stuff didn't make any sense to me. Why go away from the running game when it's been the staple in your identity for the first 3 games? I get that. I don't know. I have to wait and see what they're going to say in the press conference. I usually hate watching, especially watching Harbaugh talk, because it's usually a bunch of mumbo-jumbo that doesn't mean anything. So it'll be interesting to see what he says. He may say that, the game plan against Rutgers was to pass the football more than to run it because of X, Y, and Z. So we'll wait and see what happens. I mean, he did the same thing for Washington after the game, said, we plan to run the football because that was the game plan. So we'll see if he says that the game plan was to pass it more than to run it. I don't know. But it was really a real scare. Had it not been for the defense, because the defense on both teams played really, really well. But had it not been for the defense making, red zone stands, we would have lost this game. The defense played really, 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 really well, except for, their one touchdown pass where it was a miscommunication and he was wide open. Other than that, it was pretty much a bend but don't break defense, where when it really counted, we held them to field goals. But going forward, this is a real concern. The better teams are going to be able to execute in those situations. So I'm not going to say just because it's Rutgers that's what happened, but there's other teams out there that are more talented than Rutgers, and they're going to be able to make those plays that Rutgers wasn't able to make in the red zone. So if we can't execute ourselves, we're going to be in a whole heap of trouble. I mean, we won the game, led from wire to wire, but we didn't put this team away when we had the opportunity to. At the end of the half, Shiano made a questionable play call going for it on fourth down. Not sure why he did that, and it allowed us to, move down the field really quickly and have the ball, in the red zone with an ample amount of time to score. And the play calling was, like I said, questionable. Cade missed a wide open touchdown. And we had to settle for a field goal. I mean, just leaving points on the table is just rough. Cade, not one of his better games. He missed, a few passes here and there that he should have hit. And just overall, like I said, the running game, just especially in the second half, it just wasn't there. We had been running at a good, 7.8 to 8 yards a carry. This game, around, I don't know, about 3 yards a carry at the most. It just wasn't there, and it's like once we, it's like we just went away from what we need to do. So I'm gonna get into, the gradings for everything. So I'm gonna start with the offense. First, the offensive line. I'm gonna give them a C. And I mean, they didn't give up any sacks. For the most part, Cade had time to throw the football. But after about the first quarter, those long runs and those big holes that they were, that were there in the first quarter, they just disappeared. And like I said, in the second half, really pretty much the second part of the second quarter, the second half of the second quarter, and all of the second half, pretty much went away from running the football. At least effectively. We still ran about 30-something times, but it's just not going to get it done when you're averaging about 3 yards a carry. So the offensive line, pretty disappointing. Vistardis, I remember a couple running plays. He didn't have a good game. Had had a penalty on a snap infraction, whiffed on a few blocks. Just didn't have a good game overall. Running backs, like I said, you know, I thought there was a chance that we could get 300 yards, but I mean, man, we didn't even get 150 yards. We didn't even get halfway there for this game. So we did get the 2 rushing touchdowns from Haskins, but I don't know. Just didn't have the burst. Weren't hitting the holes like in previous games after the first quarter. So I'm gonna give the running backs a C as well. Wide receivers, I'm gonna give them a B. Obviously, the passing game was a little bit better than the running game, but not by a whole lot. Nobody caught more than 2 passes. But they did go for, big plays. Like Mike Sanderson had a big play at the end of the half. Roman Wilson had a big play that, But overall, I mean, I'm going to get to Cade in a second, he only completed 9 passes. So, I guess there's only so much you can do. Cade, I'm going to give him a B-. And you're wondering why I'm going to give him a B-. I mean, he only completed 9 passes on 16 attempts for 163 yards. But no turnovers, didn't force anything, managed the game, relatively well. There was some questionable, play calls that I'm not sure where that came from. Like that last play where they missed a field goal, where he kept the football. I was scratching my head. I was like, what on earth? What are they doing? So there's a few of those in the game, but overall he managed the game well and put us in a position to win. And at the end of the day, that's all you're really asking for, is for him not to turn the ball over, to manage the game well, manage the clock pretty well, to put, Rutgers in the position at the end of the game where they had to pass the football and not, because that second half, they really, really put the pressure on us. They went to that kind of like run, that option keeper where he was, Vedral was, keeping the football or handing off to Pacheco, and we really couldn't stop it. But, when we milked down the clock to the point where they had to go to pass only, I thought that was a key, because it ended up leading to the one turnover of the game. So, the tight ends, give them a C. Early on, they were real beneficial in the first 2 touchdowns, the rushing touchdowns, blocking. But then after that, not a whole lot. Eric caught a couple of passes, but that was really about it. Not too much more to say about that. Just overall, the offense didn't look good this game. They looked good in the first quarter, looked really, really dominant, and then after that, very pedestrian. So I'm going to get to the defense. Defense played really, really well. Like I said, except for that one play where they messed up and blew coverage, thought the defense played exceptionally well. One thing that I will say is concerning is still didn't really get any pressure on the quarterback like you'd like. We did get 1 sack, but going forward, we have to get more pressure on the quarterback. That's going to be the key for us to win. So the defensive line played okay. I mean, they rushed for I would say, about 200 yards, um, at about almost double the amount of yards per carry that we rushed for. But, when it counted, we did get pressure. When it counted, we held them. So I'm going to give the defensive line overall a B. Like I said, they did get the one sack, did make some key plays, stuff to run, key plays on fourth down by the defensive line to get into the backfield, which was key to this game. Had we not got some of those stops on fourth down or forcing them to kick field goals, definitely would have lost this game. The linebackers, I'm going to give them a C. The game definitely did turn once Josh Ross went out with that stinger. So definitely saw a difference in how the defense played once he went out. Just wasn't able to properly replace him. So that's definitely a concern. Gave up that touchdown where it was a miscommunication and the running back wasn't picked up out of the backfield. That was on the linebackers. So that's definitely something that has to be cleaned up. The secondary, I'm going to give them a B+. Overall, not any big plays were given up. Nothing over their heads. No glaring plays where they gave up any plays or anything like that. They played pretty good. Coverage was pretty good. Made a lot of plays, a lot of tackles for loss. So I can't complain about that. Thought that the secondary overall played really, really well. Special teams, for the kickoffs, not allowing Chris Shank to have any long kickoff returns, not allowing him to have any long punt returns. We had that one punt where it went, got downed out at like the 5. Overall, the kicking game was good. Somehow or another, we missed that last field goal at the end of the game, which would have iced it. So that kind of stuck. But overall, I'm going to give special teams. I'm going to give them an A-. Overall, played pretty well. The punt returning, AJ Henning back there is really, really dynamic. So I'm glad that he's returning punts because he adds a whole lot to the return game, having him back there. And also Blake Corum taking kickoffs. He does a good job. It always looks like he's just like one tackle missed away from breaking one. So I thought that, that special teams played very, very well. Didn't give up any big plays and was pretty solid overall. So overall for the game, at the end of the day, I'm happy we got the win. It's like win and move on, and I'm happy about that. We're 4-0, so can't complain about that. Like I said, Rutgers is not the pushover team that they were in the past, where all you had to do was just show up and you'd be guaranteed the win. They're going to surprise a lot of other teams in the Big Ten. And I could see them beating somebody else and upsetting another team. I mean, if you look at it just across college football, not even talking about the Big Ten, you've had upsets all across the board. Clemson lost. Texas A&M lost to Arkansas. Iowa State lost. Auburn barely came back and won at the end. Auburn. Who else? Who else won? Just looking at this now. Iowa came back and beat Colorado State after being down at the half. So you know, it's not just as simple as just showing up and winning. There's a good chance that you could lose. So just winning and moving on to the next game, is key. So next week we have Wisconsin. That's going to be a very tough game. Wisconsin just got the brakes beat off of them by Notre Dame. I didn't see that one coming. So, they're going to be probably a combination of upset and really dejected from not only losing, but losing soundly. So that's going to definitely be another key test for this team. But I think that we have the ability to win that game. Our defense is really, really good. And Wisconsin's offense is not really, really good. And this was a good test to see whether or not we could throw the football, because obviously the running game, just for whatever reason, this game was not there. And I come to figure that was going to be the case versus Wisconsin next week. So it's good to see that we're able to move the football without relying heavily on the run and on the run only. So a win is a win. Like I said, this Rutgers team is going to surprise some other teams in the Big Ten. It may shock and win a few more games down the line. So just look out for that. And you heard it here from me first. Well, I'm not going to say it first. Someone else might say it, but I don't know. It's definitely going to happen. Anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. And as always, like and share the video. Definitely helps my channel out. Leave me a comment in the comment section below how you felt about the game. And if you like my content, definitely subscribe to the channel, as I'm trying to get the channel to grow. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. And as always, go blue.